All right. Hello and welcome everyone to this gift call of getting out of debt joyfully with me, Smriti Goswami. I've been a JCF or a Joy of Business Facilitator for almost, I think, since 2017. So you can calculate. I can't really calculate how many years it's been, but it's been 5-6 years. And every time I facilitate any of the any of the Joy of Business classes, it just opens up a whole new world of possibilities for me and for those people who receive those classes. So the clearings, the conversations, there's so much information in all of these, and it's beyond anything else. So thank you for being here. There's so much I want to talk about. There's so much information that I have. And this is one of my most favorite classes, not that I conduct it very often. So I'm conducting this almost after about 2 years, 1.5 years. And so this is going to be a 6-month series. And this is the first call of that series, which I'm gifting to all of you. We also have the option of paying for this class in installments. Reason being, the entire class is not being delivered to you immediately, like not a 2-day class or a 3-day class. It's over a period of 6 months. So you have the option to pay over 6 months, and it's going to be only 16,500 per month. And yeah, so we'll talk more about it. Swami will tell you more about that. And in case you need more information, you can connect either with Swami or with me for this. And of course, you also have the option of paying it upfront. So whatever would create greater. Now, let's get started with this. So before we get started, does anyone have any questions? Anything they're going through with regards to money issues or creating debt? And you can make it a generalized thing. You don't have to give away information about yourself if that's not what you want. But you can just generally ask a particular question, like what creates this, what's the value of it, or whatever. And we can take it from there. Or maybe, I think I'll leave it for a little later. Let me get started with the call first. Now, so this call will also have a lot of home plays. And you'll also receive PDF with the clearings. And every alternate week, will be a date with me for this particular class. And so basically, this class is about 30% of this class is about what's going on with you, where are you creating debts, what are the points of view that you've been functioning from that's creating and maintaining that for you. And how many times you manage to get out of debt, and then again you get back to the same sequence or same process again, and create some more debts for yourself. So what's going on? This is going to give you a lot of clarity about that. And once you're aware, then you also have a choice to make a different choice, right? And the rest 70% of this entire series is all about creation of money, different ways, different things and it's not like, it's nothing to do with the tools that we'll be sharing here is very different from what you would have done in the How to Become Money workbooks or rest of the money classes that you would have attended. These tools are very, very different. There's a lot more information, lot more clarity, lot of other means and methods that you'll be learning in this. So if you are ready for your whole life to be literally overhauled, and if you're willing to allow yourself to literally be put into a washing and drying cycle of a washing machine and come out absolutely spanking new, this class is for you. Okay. So now when you're talking about home plays, what happens is, why do we invite you to do home plays? It's because what you're doing is you're actually asking for the money to show up. You're asking to have more clarity. You're asking to have more awareness. And just know that you're not wrong for desiring more money to show up, no matter what anybody else projects at you. Because a lot of times we'll pick up other people's projections and we'll think there's something wrong. We can't be constantly asking for money. We can't ask for so much more, right? So you stop doing things or stop asking for things. Also, when the people around you are hell-bent on choosing mediocrity for themselves, you also try not to go beyond that, because how will you feel connected to them? So it can be your spouse, it can be your family members, it can be your relatives or friends or whoever, or your colleagues. But the circle that you're moving around in, if they're choosing mediocrity, no matter how hard you try, because you want to fit in with them, you'll constantly keep on choosing that. So that's not really going to create much. So Swami, in case there's a message on the chat, just read it out to me, because sometimes I'm not able to know that if there's a message here. All right, now, so just know that you're not wrong for desiring more money to show up, no matter who says what, okay? And the more you choose, it actually starts getting more judgmental, okay? So you have to be willing to receive that energy. You have to be willing to receive all energy, no matter who's saying what to you. Just to be unstoppable, okay? That's something you have to keep choosing. Now, when we are talking about money, look at what's been going on in your life and be present and ask yourself, okay, so what unfulfilled promises do you have with money? Be present with that. So what unfulfilled promises do you have with money? Everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive this information with total ease, will you now destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, what, all natural boys, poets, and beyonds. This is asking to be more present with why is it that you're choosing whatever it is that you're choosing, okay? So people have this idea that money is going to give them freedom, okay? And there's a whole, if I ask you right now, you'll create a whole big list that you'll come up with about what money will give you, okay? Such as like happiness and joy or freedom and so on, and whatever, travel, whatever, you'll have a huge list, okay? So money is this constant state of unfulfilled promises, because you can just wake up and be joyful. You are free, right? But you keep connecting money as a source for you to be free, for you to be joyful. So the unfulfilled promises is literally that place where you're always thinking that money will provide you with something that it can't provide you with. It's like the expectations on something, okay, known or unknown, it's that expectations that you have. Ask yourself, what is the unfulfilled promise that you have assigned to money? What exactly is going on? So if you had no unfulfilled promises with money, you would actually be functioning more from creations. So you get it? You're making money the source to create for you. But if you had no unfulfilled promises with money, if you were not making money the source, how much more you would be focusing on the creation of your life. And literally creation has no definition, right? You can't define creation. You just choose to be that energy and keep on asking for more and choosing more and allowing more and more to show up. So how many of you literally go into your financial situation trying to control it? And it's not creating for you. So if you're trying to control a situation, what will happen? You can only limit it because you're busy trying. You're so focused on controlling something, you can only limit it. You won't allow the possibilities to show up because you're so busy controlling it, okay? So even when you're functioning from debt or no money, there is this level of control because you know the energy of what it is to have money, right? So let go of that control, allow more possibilities to show up. And if you had no unfulfilled promises, then you actually start functioning from a space of possibilities. And anytime you're choosing to do that, there's no how, there is no why, There is no putting a time span on it. You just start looking at what you desire and you start to create the energy of what you desire, that you desire it. Okay. And you start following the energy and asking for whatever it is that you desire to show up. And you also start knowing that energy. You start connecting with that energy. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there are no unfulfilled promises there when you're focusing on creating more from following the energy and just asking for it to show up. So there is no space for judging not having enough money. There's no space for any unfulfilled promises, except just that energy of, I'm choosing it, universe, make it happen. What do I have to be and do? And just keep on asking for more and more and more. You don't look at money as the source, you are the source. And that's what starts creating. Now, how many of you have this idea that money is going to give you everything? And then you're so busy not creating it. Just be present to what you're choosing, right? You're so busy not creating it. So you have the idea that money is going to give you everything, and then you're so busy not creating it, or judging what you can't afford, or whatever crap that you've created, rather than just asking for that money to show up and having the awareness of money and the awareness of your financial reality. And just know that there's no how. It's the awareness of it and the creation of it and the request of it and the choice to step into the generative energy of that choice that starts inviting more possibilities into your world. So everywhere you've been trying to control how the money has to show up, and everywhere you have put a full stop to the things that you can actually be choosing for the creation of your life, because somewhere you've decided that money is a source, instead of acknowledging that you are the source. Will you not destroy and uncreate that? Right, from good, bad, pot, all and short boys, covads, and beyonds. So those of you who are here on this call and who are not very familiar with Access, what I just did was I brought up the energy of whatever it is that's not working for you, or whatever it is that's keeping you stuck or limited. And I used the Access clearing state. I brought up that energy in a question form, followed by a clearing statement, the Access clearing statement. You can know more about it in the accessclearingstatement.com. Go to that website. Dr. Dane is explaining it very beautifully. Basically, what it does is it goes back to that point in time when that issue got created, or you thought, or that particular point of creation when you created that issue, whatever issue that is keeping you stuck, and it literally blasts it out of your universe, out of your system. So you start making much more generative choices for yourself. Okay, without looking at all those stuck points. There's nothing stopping you there. Okay, so anytime you have to choose something, and if you like to choose a different financial reality, there is no how. It's just the awareness and the creation of it, and you just have to start stepping into it. Okay, now when you only do control, you can only do what you think you have to do to get the result that you think will give you freedom. But when you are willing to go into something else, like, for example, money, or with the energy of change and moving something, then you can actually create anything, whatever it is that you desire. So before, like, I can continue talking. There's so much information, there's so much more. But let me open this call up to you guys. If you have any questions, anything you'd like to ask me, and then I'll talk more about other things. Any one of you, anything that's going on in your world that you'd love to have more clarity with, just go ahead. And Pragya and Shagun and Swami, thank you for having the cameras on.
You're welcome.
Otherwise, I'm just literally just staring at names.
Thank you. That's
and thank you, Rachna. Yes, go ahead. Does anyone have any questions? Swami, do you have any questions?
Yes, I have. I was just checking if anyone else wants to go first. So, in spite of having all the tools, there are times when things don't show up. You go into the wrongness of you, or you already decide that things are not going to show up. You know, the money is not going to show up. So what is that energy? Like, in spite of knowing, and we still go into that, take those points of view and operate from there. Is it just a choice, or is there something else going on?
It's a lack of trust in yourself. What do you think it is? It's like when you know you can create it, somewhere most people still keep thinking, oh, it hasn't shown up as yet.
Right.
Suppose I have to attend a class. Suppose I have to attend a class in 2 days. Okay. But the money hasn't shown up. Okay. So you'll start feeling really, really dejected. And you'll feel, man, I tried my best. There's nothing available now. What else can I do? Or basically, most of us start functioning more from a conclusion that, okay, this is it. I tried, but now there's no way anything can show up. What most people do is they give up.
Right.
And also why they do not create is because most of the time they're looking at and focusing on the how they will create it or how it has to show up, right? So they start making that more significant than their choice. And because it's not showing up, so when you ask for something from the universe, sometimes it takes the universe a little while to get it to you, right? But the moment you start doubting your ask and you start doubting how it will even show up, and the moment you start trying to figure out how it's going to show up, you're already killing all the possibilities. Because now you're creating more from a presumptive realities. You're creating more from the needs of reactive realities, where you are creating more inner space from a space of reaction than actually the choice.
Right.
So everything that brought up, let's destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right, from good, bad, pot, all natural boys, go ads and yarns. And then will you have the guts to still go ahead, travel all the way and choose the class? And be willing to have it. So let me quote an example of a very dear friend who's from Bangalore, but he's now based in Mexico. Okay. And he and I were conducting a talk to the entity class together last December. And he just spoke about this, which has actually stayed with me. It's like the choice to have it, no matter what. Sorry, I'm just muting. Swami, let me just make you the co-host.
Sure.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. I was making the wrong person the co-host. Okay, cool. So what he did was, I'm talking about Manjunath, for those of you who don't know. So Manjunath decided to go attend a class, which was being conducted by Gary Douglas. And he went to Vienna all the way. So he's at home, swapping bars with someone. And then someone asked that lady who he was swapping bars with, asked, okay, so you're going to Vienna, right? He's like, yeah, I'm going. So she's like, what time is your flight? When is your flight? He says, tonight. She's like, okay, so what time are you leaving? He's like, I'll leave shortly. And then they were just talking, and that lady realized. So basically, he just said, universe, show me the possibilities. There has to be some way. Okay, till now, he had not even bought the tickets. He didn't have the money to buy the tickets. So he couldn't buy the ticket. And when he is like, universe, show me the possibilities, is when the universe, or actually that lady who was there swapping bars, she's like, hey, you know what, you can borrow money from me, but I can afford to pay only one-way ticket. He's like, thanks, I'll take it. And then he chose that, and he bought a one-way ticket, flight ticket to Vienna. Okay. Now he made the hotel booking via booking.com, and they don't usually ask you to pay till you're checking out. So he went to the room, he checked into the room, took a shower, and he left for the class. Okay. Now he's right across the building. He's yet to cross the road to go to that building where the class is being conducted. And the money hasn't shown up. He has no money to pay for the class, but he has reached Vienna, okay, on a one-way ticket. He has no money to even pay for the hotel. But the thing is, he's choosing the class however it shows up. So he's standing there and he's looking at his phone constantly. He's looking at the universe and he's like, universe, my job was to bring myself here to Vienna. I'm here, make this happen. I don't care how it shows up, make it happen. So meanwhile, another friend, Monish, passed by because he was staying in an Airbnb close by. So he walked by. He's like, hey, Manju, so good to see you here. What are you doing here? So he's like, hey, I'm looking to attend this class. So he's like, okay, let's cross the road. He's like, no, you don't understand. I don't have the money right now to pay for the class. So he's like, you came all the way from India to Vienna and you don't have the money for this class. He says, yeah, no. So he's like constantly still checking his phone. He's like, are you expecting someone to send you money? So he's like, no, I'm not really expecting money from anywhere. And then Monish was also surprised, but he's like, okay, you know what? Let's cross the road. Let's go in that same building and then we'll see what else is possible. So they went there and they spoke to Francesca. And then Francesca said, okay, let me see what I can do. And then she spoke to Gary. And Gary said, well, only, so he follows the energy, right? He said, okay, only for Manjuna, I will allow him to pay me later for the class and attend it right now. But there'll be an 8% surcharge. And Manju said, okay, that's it. I'm choosing it. So he got to attend the class. Now, while he was in the class, during lunchtime, he happened to meet another person who was staying in one of the hostels there, and he just didn't like the place. So Manju said, hey, you know, I have extra bed in my room, so you're most welcome to come and share. Like I have a twin bed. So he's like, okay. So then he said, okay, how much do I pay you for that? He said, see, anyways, I was going to pay for my room, so it's okay, no big deal. You don't need to pay me anything. He's saying that all the while, knowing that he himself has no money to pay for the room, right? But so that guy shifted in with him, and then towards the end of the 3-day class, that guy also realized that Manjuna didn't have any money to even pay for the room. So not only did that guy pay for the room, he also left 500 euros extra with Manju for him to have ease, for him to be able to buy his ticket back to India. Of course, later on, Manju managed to pay everyone. But what I'm trying to say is he was willing to choose that no matter how, no matter what shows up, right? So anytime you're making a choice, we start looking at how will we manage? We start looking at the hows and whys instead of just going ahead and choosing, and the willingness to have it no matter what. That determination, that commitment to having something is what starts actualizing it. If you start looking at the hows and whys, it will not really create much. So just be aware of that. Okay, so anyone else has any question? Swami, I hope this...
Yes, Smriti. So I have another question. So I see that there had been times when I had chosen like that. And when the time came to pay off the money through credit card or through payment plan, it really got tough. And then later on, you know, when such a situation arose, such a situation came in where I had to choose a class, I was not willing to opt for this because it was not fun back then to pay off. So yeah, so though I did choose, like come what may, I'm choosing this, I did choose and I was there and it created greater. However, the experience after the process of paying it was not pleasant. So I see that also comes in between in a couple of classes that recently I was contemplating to choose, join. So anything that you can speak around that?
Yeah.
Like when you have a reference point, you know?
Yeah. First of all, pocket all those reference points.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because it happened last time doesn't mean it's going to happen again. You always have a choice to choose something different. And where do you guys actually forget to ask for ease? Universe, I don't care how it shows up. I'm choosing to have all that I desire, and I'm also choosing to have ease, make it happen, whatever it takes. And then just step into that choice, right? Now, also what happens is so one of the reasons why I myself do not offer payment plans is once you've attended the class, right? You've got whatever you wanted to. Most of the time, you're not even able to receive that class as dynamically. Secondly, what happens is it's not fun for people to earn money or create money and then have to give it away. So that giving away is not fun. So they will keep on delaying creating money, the creation of money. So they'll keep on creating situations where they're not able to create that money because whatever they earn, they'll have to give away, right? So when you're talking about getting out of debt joyfully, this particular class and this call, we talk about how you don't have to give up on yourself. You don't have to give up on creation of your life because you're in debt. And how you can actually choose to have so much more and also be able to pay off all the debts with a lot of ease. So the whole crux of this call and this particular whole class series is that, okay, it's about being willing to invite money, being willing to create a dynamic, greater life, and not putting it on hold because you owe somebody money. And also choosing not to dishonor them, right? It's not like I owe you money, but I'm going to go and buy a BMW for myself. It's not even operating from that space, but it's a willingness to have the BMW and also the willingness to pay off the debts. Do you get it? It's more about that. So this class, this whole series is an invitation to actually creating a greater life for yourself. Right? So let me mute. All right. Now, yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought Avirupa was just going to ask a question, so I thought that's what she.
Wait, I'm not done with this.
Sure, yeah.
In case somebody wants, just put up your hand so that I know and I can ask you. Also, what were we talking about? I lost my flow of thoughts. But the main crux is this: it's not fun to earn money and pay off immediately. Let's pay off that entire chunk. So you end up creating these things. And then also it's a way to make life so hard for yourself, because also ask whose lies, what lies, and how many lies am I using to choose this difficulty with money am I choosing? Because what happens is you start buying other people's points of view. See, I told you shouldn't have taken such a huge loan. I told you shouldn't have done this. I told you, right? So now you have to somewhere, if you're resisting and reacting to what they're saying or aligning and agreeing with whatever they're saying, either ways you allow that their points of view to stick to you, and you end up creating whatever it is that they are saying, right? So be very present to the choices you're making. And also you can ask, okay, last time I went through all these things, this time, what can I be and do different? Okay, what is required here? What needs to change here? And universe, can I have ease with money? Can I have ease with all this, with all my choices? Ask for ease. And also, what am I unwilling to receive here? So also one very important thing where we, at some point in time, maybe during a conversation with one of your colleagues or one of your friends, and you might say, hey, I'm planning to choose this. And they will end up imposing their limitations onto you. Think about it. Is it even worth it? Look at what all is going on. Should you even get into this? Why are you wasting money? And so on. So even if you're resisting and reacting to what they're saying or aligning and agreeing with whatever they're saying, sometimes you allow their points of view to stick to you. So just be very mindful of that and say, if I was truly choosing for me, if I was truly asking to create a greater life for me, what choices would I like to step into? What can I choose for myself? And then allow that to show up. Cool. Yes, Abhirupa had some question. Go ahead, Abhirupa.
I have a question
You're not audible enough.
Sorry, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a question about the same thing. Sometimes people, or I've observed myself doing that as well, just to go on spending and go on splurging or taking loans or be lax with money in general. How do you know that you are operating from awareness of, being in ease with money, or you're just being irresponsible?
If you're choosing something that's calling out to you, are you being irresponsible with money, or what's going on? Ask what's going on. If you have a point of view about something, about your choice, then you will create yourself as being irresponsible. But ask also, would this choice create greater for me? 1 minute, there was this clearing that Dr. Dane had given. I don't remember the word, but it was something like, would this choice destroy my future or create a future I desire? There was a particular word he used to use for the word destroy, but it was something on those lines. Would this choice destroy my future or create my future? And be present with that, and you'll be able to figure out. But so what happens when you make a choice? Do you regret it, or what happens?
Sometimes I have regretted, and sometimes I have felt like, okay, so it didn't work out the way I exactly wanted to, but I come out with an experience, or I come out with something else. So it's a variety of things. It's not constant, but sometimes I know I have very clear awareness. For example, like you said before, that choosing classes even when you didn't have money. I didn't have money for the bars class when I went for the bars class first time, but I went anyway. And then a couple of things like that have happened. So that time I know that I'm operating from a space of awareness. But it also happens sometimes that I just go on and splurge, and I later feel that maybe I was not really aware. I was just
when you
running away from awareness, saying no.
When you splurged, did it create greater for you or no at that time?
It made me happy, yeah.
Okay, so then the rest of it is all where you're going into making yourself wrong. So if you do not have to make yourself wrong for any of your choices, what more possibilities would be available for you? Right? Also, we tend to buy other people's points of view. We make it very, very significant, right? If they will not choose. There are a lot of people who will not choose a lot of things. But what are you aware of? Start tapping into your own awareness. Start tapping into your own knowing. And also, before you make that choice, ask, am I choosing this because it seems like fun for me, or am I choosing it because somebody else is choosing and I don't want to be deprived of it, or I don't want to be left out? So are you choosing it because of fear of missing out, or you're choosing it because it's really calling out to you? So when you start asking yourself this question, it'll make you more aware of what exactly is going on.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what happens is most of this reality will actually function from deprivation or scarcity or lack or denial, right? Rather than what you'd actually like to have for yourself. So most people will end up creating a lot of debts and limitations with money, or they'll create issues with their bodies or in their relationships, or basically they'll end up creating a lot of roadblocks in the form of all these things: debt, lack of money, relationship issues, and trauma and drama in the house, and so on. Okay, why are they doing that? Just to limit all that they can choose to be, and they can choose or be, right? Now, or they will let other people's judgments stop them. Does that even work? Is it even creating anything for anyone? Not really. So be very present to where are you only creating roadblocks for yourself, and what are those? Be very present. So next time you're creating these issues, like Swami, when you mentioned this about I have to face difficulty after that. I go ahead and make that choice, but then later on I have to face the brunt of it and deal with it. And it's not easy at all. And it's always like a sword hanging on my head. The sword is hanging on your head because you've made that very, very significant. If you removed all the significance from that debt on your head, and if you asked to have ease with it, then you would be able to sort it all out. A lot of us tend to literally put our lives on hold because we have to pay off that debt. And because you're putting your life on hold, your whole focus is on, I can't do this, I can't choose this, I can't be this, because the sword is hanging on my head and I need to first deal with that. So that sword won't go away because you're not creating, because you've put everything on hold. So see what points of view it is you're functioning from that is creating and maintaining that particular sword on your head. And if you were to let go of those points of view, what more possibilities would you actually be aware of and open yourself up to? What more choices would be there? Okay. And even then, while you're in the middle of that, always, anytime you feel stuck, just literally zoom out, take a bird's eye view of that situation, and then you'll realize that, it's actually not such a big deal. And here are the entities messing up or reminding me that they are also around contributing. So that's what it is, right? It's like, most of you would have seen those videos where they'll show the earth and then suddenly the camera starts zooming out and then the earth starts becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. And suddenly you can see it like one tiny dot. And then you realize that, wow, you yourself are such a tiny dot in the whole universe. So where are you focusing on making these issues significant? However, we can choose, and also where you're not, when you're talking about the topic of significance, try not to make these issues significant, but own, claim, and acknowledge the significance of you. Like, we tend to sideline ourselves. So what if you chose to be the most significant? Your choices, your being. If you owned and claimed and acknowledged that, what would that create for you? So be present to that. Now, what happens when we're creating those limitations? Okay. How do we get out of that? All these limitations that we're creating, all these deprivation and stuff. So what we can do is, first of all, look at our points of view that are creating that, okay, which are actually creating this aspect of our life that is literally blocking or limiting our growth, okay? So, for example, if you have a point of view that you have to work really, really hard to make money, then unless you work really hard, you won't allow yourself to receive the money. You will feel you don't deserve it. And so you will literally not allow yourself to receive. You'll sideline all the money. Even if it's coming your way, you will push it away. Subconsciously, you'll push it away. And, most of you would have encountered those situations where you've literally, like everything has been handed to you on a platter, and just when you're about to bite into it, it just gets removed, right? And then you're not able to get it. So again, your points of view which are creating that. So now, how does one actually step into the energy of money? Okay. And it's really, really interesting how subconsciously most of us refuse to actually step into the energy of having money. And there's lots you can do. So, and there are very simple things that you can do. So home play for you guys. Go to a wealthier area, okay, where you currently live. Go to a wealthier area than that, and just soak in the energy of opulence of those houses, those places, the way things are. You can also go to maybe a 7-star hotel. Go there, step into that place, just lower your barriers, because you'll also have a lot of people looking at you like, why you weren't here? Even if you go to a Louis Vuitton showroom, a lot of those people, you see how they'll look at you, they'll be like, yeah, you really think you're going to buy? Can you even afford it? They'll have those judgments on you. They'll literally keep on impelling those judgments on you. Just lower your barriers and just soak in the opulence of all that you see. Okay. And then make a demand to actualize that for yourself. Whatever it takes, I'm going to choose it and be it and have it. Okay. And so next time you don't have to shrink when you see something like this, right? You have to make sure, be very aware when your barriers are going up, be very present to that, and poke and pot all the judgments that are coming up. So when you do this home play, just poke and pot all the judgments that are coming up every time. Why I'm asking you to do that? It's just allowing you to start receiving the energy of whatever you're resisting, due to whatever points of view you might have. Okay. And also, look at the money that you have, look at the bunch of cash that you have, look at your jewelry and feel it, touch it, okay, and allow yourself to receive it. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful. Just be present with it, okay? Also, next time you go to any place, whether you go to a restaurant or you go to a shop or a store or whatever, next time you're even traveling, or next time you even have to choose something, ask, if money was not the issue, what would I choose? And be present to what shows up, okay? And just know that each time you make lack of money more significant, you lock it in place, and you lock it somewhere in your body too. So everywhere, all those of you who have locked in the lack of money in your world, in your universe, in every molecule of your being and bodies, will you now just try and uncreate that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, all night, short, boys, four vowels, and beyonds. And if you had no point of view about it being a problem, would it be a problem then? No, not really. Okay, what's with this light? So, what else? Let me give you some clearings. So if you can ask these questions, okay, for everything. Anytime you have to make a choice, and Abhirupa, when you're not sure what you have to choose, whether that choice will create for you or not, ask every time before you make a choice, ask, will it be fun? Will it be easy? Will I be grateful after? And just be very present to the awareness that you're getting at that moment, okay? Sometimes when you ask, you might not be aware of it, but if it's just making you feel lighter, if it's making you feel more expansive, that's the choice for you, okay? And just know, if you are feeling guilty about making that choice, then your point of view is creating your reality. And if you think that if I make this choice, then I'll have to deal with all these other issues later on, then that's how it'll show up, okay? But if you have no point of view about it, except just the joy of receiving it, then that's how it'll start showing up in your world, and it will be so much of ease, okay? And also, most of us are not willing to step into choosing more because we're very complacent. We've become so comfortable with what it is that we're more living in our comfort zone. And so if you were willing to be uncomfortable, what would you choose? So Pragya, I'll just come to you in a minute. So is there a place in your life that you've been literally dragging out something that you know it would create so much more to change? And what if you actually made that leap and changed it, like right now, today? What would that create in your world? At least just choose it and then step into it, okay? And just know that when you are willing to change things, you actually start creating more space, and within that space, more creation can occur, okay? So if you were, ask yourself, if I was willing to be uncomfortable, what choices could I step into? What would I choose? If you looked at it and you were actually were willing to be very brutally honest with what's going on, what is it? What is that for you? What is that choice for you? What is it creating for you? And what is that for you? Like with respect to your job, your relationships, or where you live, or with your body, and so on. Okay. So what have you not been willing to change that if you would change it would literally invite the adventure of living and possibilities for you? Everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, perceive, and receive that, will you not destroy and uncreate it all? Right from good, bad, hot, pop, all and short, boys, poets, and beyonds. And let me give you a secret to success. Okay. So find something that you love to do so much that you just can't wait for the sun to rise so that you can do it all over again. So when you find something that motivates you, that inspires you, that's so much fun for you, that you literally can't wait for it to be morning again so that you can step into that choice again and again and again. That's what will create and maintain that success for you. Yes, Pragya, go ahead.
I think when you said that you make a choice and you stay with it and see how your body feels, how you feel about it, what pains you. So I overthink everything. So when I overthink things, I am left confused about what it made me feel, what I should be choosing, or do I want to choose it anymore? Or does it resonate with the first energy awareness that I got? How can I remove that and then be aware and make a choice?
Okay. So how many of you actually would really love to have certain things in your life and then you don't choose it? And then you justify why you're not choosing it. Right? So be present to what it is you're being. Okay. Where are you justifying not choosing something? It's like, oh, it wasn't good anyways. And I'm so glad I did not. Let me give you an example. What example can I give? So my husband was traveling and he met a friend. And he met a friend who was carrying a suitcase, like a briefcase kind of a thing. And he's like, I got it on sale and I got it only for $20. And then he saw the bag that my husband was carrying. It was a To-Me bag, which since he travels that often, he just chose to splurge on that bag and having that bag, because that energy of using that bag every day it just invites more possibilities for him. He just loves that bag. And then that guy, first he was very happy with what he had chosen. And then he's like, someday I will buy this bag. You see, he was very happy choosing that other bag, but, and he was justifying that I got it on sale. And that's the reason, it is, see, I did such a great achievement because I managed to get this bag on sale. But it's not about that. It's about literally willing to invite the energy of just having in your space, that energy of willingness to have everything. You want something, what if you did not have to think about it? And usually every time I have to choose something, like there are times when initially when I was part of the hub, I had to pay a huge amount of royalty every month. Okay, whether or not I was creating a class, I had to pay almost like 75 to 79,000 royalty each month. And I could have run away from it. I could have made a choice to not be part of it. Again, it was my choice, right? But I chose to still continue being a part of it, because somewhere just being a part of that hub was creating for me. I cannot define how it was creating, but just that energy was inviting me to start choosing so much more in my life. And I just, next time now, what I do is, anytime I have to make any payments, let's take, for example, suppose you have to pay a huge income tax, okay? And, or let's not talk about income tax, let's talk about something that you have to pay monthly, for example. And it's not fun for you, but you have to pay, right? Ask, what do I have to be and do to create so much more that this expense is just 1% of all that I earn, right? Instead of making that expense more significant, ask, what will it take for it to be just 1%? So let's take, for example, if you have to choose access classes, okay? And some of the classes are quite expensive. So how much more do I have to step up? How much more do I have to earn? How much more do I have to start creating every month so that this expense or the paying for the access classes is just 1% of all that I earn? And ask for that and start choosing so much more, right? You just have to make a bigger demand. So everywhere you've decided that making bigger demands is just not possible because, you know, the lack of money is more significant, will you not destroy and uncreate it all? Right from good, bad, pot, all natural voice, forwards and beyonds. Okay, so all the secrets that you're keeping from yourself will literally become places where you have to keep lying to yourself. You remember when I spoke about where you're not willing to create, all those places where you feel stuck, those places. And Swami, the question that you'd asked about repaying the debts and the loans, how it is. So be very present, and all those places where you're not willing to actually see and acknowledge what is it, what are the points of view that are creating and maintaining this issue in your life. Ask, all the secrets that you've actually been keeping from yourself will now become problem places where you have to keep on lying to yourself. So ask, where am I lying to myself? Where am I not willing to trust myself? Where am I not willing to ask for and demand and step into all that I know I'm capable of creating? Where am I looking for validation? Where am I looking for others to see my greatness, if, you know, and validate you? So if you, let me tell you one thing, a secret. If you will not see your greatness, nobody else will. If you do not acknowledge you, nobody else will. And if you do not value you, nobody else will. So you keep looking and seeking for all these external validations and things from others, instead of seeing, owning, claiming, and acknowledging what you are, that these things already exist within you. Okay, so
Thanks.
What else could you create in your life if you actually found and followed what was true for you? Just curious, like, keep asking. So universe, what hidden talents and abilities do I have that I've not yet acknowledged, that if I were to acknowledge, would open up a whole new world of possibilities and numerous revenue streams for me? You know, ask yourself this question every day. Everything that doesn't allow you to own, claim, and acknowledge all your talents and abilities and know, be, and perceive this, will you not destroy and uncreate it all? Right from good, bad, pot, all natural voice, forwards and beyonds. And also make a choice. No more lies, no more blind spots. What other possibilities could I step into? Okay. And when I was talking about significance, right? Where are you not allowing yourself to be significant in your life? Okay. Where are you not allowing who you are to be so significant that it actually ruffles feathers, creates discomforts, creates a pathway to something new that even you don't think you had the right or the possibility to choose? And everything that doesn't allow each one of you to own, claim, and acknowledge and choose that and step into that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Right from good, bad, pot, all natural voice, forwards and beyonds. be present to like, where are you in your asks that you're putting out in the universe? Are you even present in those asks? Are you even asking for yourself? And where are you also not allowing your point of view to be valued, or who you are to be, or the difference of you to be literally be valued, heard, seen, and honored? Everywhere, everything that brought up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right from good, bad, pop, all natural, boys, vowels, and beyonds. And most of the times, like we are told, right? Control yourself. You're going too fast. How will you manage all these things? You need to slow down. It's other people are imposing their limitations on you. And sometimes it comes across as a sort of care, okay? But what is true for you? Choose that, okay? So what if actually being out of control is the freedom that you're looking for that we never actually seem to achieve? So when you're out of control, guess what? Nobody can control you. Even you can't control you. Okay? And what does that mean? That means you get to receive. You get to never be the effect of anyone or anything ever again. And you get to choose nonstop. And every possibility opens up and every choice becomes available, and you get to be contributed to, and you can contribute to others too, with no problem and with total ease. Are you willing to actually step into this space of creation, this space of choosing, this space of being unstoppable? Well, this is my invitation from this call, with this call, for you to actually start choosing so much more in your life, okay? Getting out of debt joyfully, this is just one part. The debt, as I mentioned, is just a part of this call. This call is also about inviting you to be so much more in life, so much more, okay? So I didn't even realize it's already 1 hour.
Yeah.
And how does it get any better? And there are some questions or something? No. All right, cool. So thank you so much, everyone. And connect with Swami or me if you'd like to know more about it. Or you can literally just go to smritigoswami.com. Or can we send the link here?
Yes,
Swami?
I had already posted it in the beginning. I'll post it again.
Just post it again. Which one did you post?
The getting out of debt.
Yeah.
The starting from
So,
1st of June.
Yeah, so no, this was the first call, and
Yeah.
those of you who will join in, we just start off from there, and then we have an extra call right at the end also. So how does it get any better than this? And I just saw somebody, Gurpreet had sent a message. So in the previous call, I'd given a clearing on receiving. Okay, and for those of you who find it really difficult to receive, this is a clearing that might open up more spaces for you. So I'll just say that again. How irrational can my receiving be to make me so successful that no one can stop me for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow me to know, be, perceive, and receive this with total ease, I now destroy and uncreate it all, right from good, bad, pot, all natural, boys, poets, and beyonds. And now I'll ask it for you. So the clearing was how you will ask for yourself, okay? So now let me ask for you guys. How irrational can your receiving be to make you so successful that no one can ever stop you for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow that, with total ease, will you now destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right from good, bad, pot, all natural, boys, poets, and beyonds. This clearing, I can't even begin to tell you how much it opened up spaces for me, where suddenly I just started getting so many more contributive people show up in my life. So many, there was just a level of ease with everything. Everywhere I went, there was just so much of ease. So this clearing would really open up spaces. And also in inviting money into your life is also a lot about receiving. We'll be talking a lot about receiving even in the class. And I've mentioned it'll be 1 hour classes, but don't be surprised if they're 1.5 hour classes, because there's so much, it's like loaded with information. And it's not just from the manual, it's also from, I've been part of Simon's, 3 of Simon's 1 year old, 6-month classes or 1 year series. I've attended 3 of those. So I bring in information from that also. And plus there will be a lot of PDFs with the clearings, and of course, a lot of home plays. So just know that today you've attended this call, and then it'll be followed with the clearings and PDFs and home plays. And then 2 weeks down the line, you would have already sorted out this issue to move on to more awareness, more clearings. And then 2 weeks down the line, again, opening up. So you get to be really present with what's going on, what are the points of view that are creating those limitations, and you start clearing it again and again and again, and for more awareness later. So it's like peeling off layers. So how does it get any better? Thank you so much, everyone. And do connect with Swami or me if you need more information. Our next call is 2 weeks away. So join in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Smriti.
Thank
for
you.
the
Thank you
amazing
so
call.
much. Really grateful.
And also,
Thank you.
also, if you want the recording, I will not be putting out the recording like that. Only those people who have registered for it will get it. So wherever you got this link, there is a link, there's a Google form for you to register, for you to receive this recording. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
One last question. Does it also
Thank you.
include bodies in the calls of getting out of joy, getting out of debt?
What did you ask? Sorry.
Does it include creation with body, or including your bodies with getting out of debt joyfully calls?
There might be some portion of that. There might be. And you have to include your body in all your creation, right? Because you're receiving everything from in this world, at this moment, in this lifetime, via your body. So it is an integral part. All right. Thank you so much. So grateful for each one of you. Bye-bye.